All right, our next special sense is audation. Audation is the actual scientific name for the sense of hearing. Hearing is controlled by our ears. Obviously, we know that because most of us are familiar with that. It is the organ for hearing. Has lots of parts. The outer ear is what we typically think of, you see right here, and that's going to include what we call the auricle, which is the actual fleshy part or pinnae of the ear. The external auditory meatus is the hole that leads from the inside. If I were to remove these, please don't do that. If these were to be removed or you lost them in an accident, you would see a hole there, like things like snakes have, where they have a hole over their head, or a lizard has, or go straight in their head. The external auditory meatus funnels the sound down in there. That's what basically this purpose here is. It protects that hole, but also funnels sound downward. The middle ear, which is located on the inside, is going to help transfer that waves of sound energy into the inner ear so that your brain can interpret it as what we call sound. So the tympanic membrane does that, sometimes called the eardrum, because it acts like a drum. As the waves hit it, it vibrates. And it's going to vibrate and transfer those vibrations into the next portion. The way it does that is you have some different features that go along with it. If I just had a membrane there and I wasn't careful, as pressure changes on the outside, on the inside, it would pop the eardrum. So Eustachian tubes are located behind the eardrum, allowing you to equalize pressure from the inside of your jaw up into the inner ear so that it doesn't get too much pressure and pop and burst the eardrum. That's why what happens is you're not careful and you were to get those clogged and you try to go in an area like either dive really low or go really high, the pressure changes would cause them to actually burst the eardrums. If you do that, that's going to damage and permanently damage your hearing. So you can see here, outer ear, external auditory meatus. Here's your eardrum or tympanic membrane. Here's your Eustachian tube. Obviously, people who have them when they're young may have problems with them. They have to put tubes in there to keep them open, keep them from closing up. That does happen to some people. The next portion are the bones of the ear. As tympanic membrane vibrates, it needs to transfer that sound wave somewhere else. And what it does is it hits little small bones. These are the smallest bones in the human body. And all these three bones connect and touch each other. And so as one hits, it vibrates the next one, it vibrates the next one. If you break those bones, you can damage your hearing permanently again. And loud sounds could do that. Large, high volume sounds could actually do that. First one's called the malleus. Second one's called the incus. And the third one's called the stapes. People know them usually by a different name. Hammer, anvil, stirrup, because of the shape that they look like. These are the Latin names for those. What the transfer is once it hits the stapes, it goes to what's called the oval window, small opening to the inner ear, which transfers that sound into the inner ear, into a liquid environment where it can then be picked up and translated. So the inner ear has semicircular canals. As the name implies, there are little half-circle canals that go around the inside of it, so fluid is going to transmit through there. It's a thickened fluid, almost a gel-like, with little small crystals in it, which help you move around for a different function we'll talk about in a second. The vestibule is the first part of this, which sort of receives that information and gets it into this whole area and helps it move around these little circles and the rest of the ear. The cochlea is the inside portion. It looks like a little snail shell, it's the name. And it has inside there little hairs which pick up the vibrations. Each one moves at a different intensity. So as it moves, it sends a signal to the brain telling you what intensity it is, and your brain interprets it as sound. As you're younger, some of those hairs work really well, and as you get older, they get damaged, and you no longer can hear certain pitches of sound because of that. The sense of equilibrium is also determined by your inner ear, because those little crystals in there, as they move, to tell your body you're moving in one direction or the other, because they move along, and it basically signals your body which way you're going. It's the reason why when you spin around in a circle too fast, they start spinning, and when you stop, they're still spinning, so your brain still thinks you're spinning, and has that reaction. These are the size of the three bones in the inner ear. You can see on the size of a penny how small they are. They're incredibly tiny for the malleus, incus, and stapes. Here's the ear's inner workings. You can see the semicircular canals up here with liquid inside of them. You have your oval window coming here into this way, so you come inside of the cochlea right here, where all these nerve cells are located. You can see where the nerves connect directly to these two regions to pick up that information. Inside of here, you can see this is how you do your sense of equilibrium. These little otoliths move, and as they move, it tells your body which way your head's moving, direction, things like that, to give you a sense of equilibrium.